Hello, this is Jody Trana, the Professor for Business Finance. This PowerPoint is for FNCE 325, the class that's held at 10 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. This PowerPoint highlights many of the issues that we talked about during that first face-to-face class. On the very first day of school at Union College, on September 30, 1891, W. Prescott wrote this text on the blackboard to begin school. Let all God's children be taught of the Lord, from Isaiah 54:13. This motto of godly education runs deeply through all of our academic programs. But this isn't a Bible class, is it? It's a finance class. And what can we learn about finance from the Bible? There are many, many references to financial management in the Bible, as you can see. And during this course, each of you will be given an opportunity to share one text from the Bible during the semester that can teach us about finance. I'll have you share that as a devotional at the beginning of class, and I'd like you to also explain why you like that text and what it tells you, how it helps you with financial management. Keep in mind that if you do this earlier in the semester, you'll have an easier time choosing a text, as there will have been fewer texts chosen, but there are many texts to choose from. For this class, you need to get the textbook and you need to read the textbook. You can either choose the printed version or an e-text book online through the MyLab learning management system. You'll be accessing MyLab through Canvas, and other than a couple of things, MyLab is where you find all of your assignments, quizzes, and the e-text if you've purchased that package. During the first couple weeks of class, you're going to be taking a finance and accounting proficiency quiz 3 times, all in Canvas. You'll be given a book called Financial Intelligence that you need to return to me. Read the book first, then take the quiz. You'll have more time to take the quiz the first time than you will have the second 2 times. So I would like to see you wait 1 to 2 days between each time that you take the quiz to see how the finance and accounting terms are becoming more common and comfortable for you. You will need to bring an electronic device during class. We'll be using our phones once in a while. We also will be heavily using Excel. You will need a laptop with Excel access on it. If you don't have a laptop with Excel, you need to really consider a way to do that inexpensively. You will be needing it over and over and over again in this class. Also, for at least one of the tests, you'll need to have a calculator, as you won't be allowed to use your phone calculator during tests. Now I'd like you to access the syllabus from Canvas or look at a printed copy that you have. You should pause this PowerPoint, take a few minutes to read through the information, but let me highlight a few things first. On page 1, there is information on how to contact me. I will always, always, always answer your emails or your text messages. So if for some reason you don't hear from me, please contact me again. It was just an oversight, and I will get back to you. I do receive text messages much faster than emails, so keep that in mind if you need a quick response. I also stop answering at about 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, and I understand that many of you need questions answered after that, so at that point I would suggest sending me an email and I will get back to you as soon as I can. You'll also see that my office hours are listed. Some of those office hours will be conducted over Zoom, but you should be able to contact me during those times. To find my Zoom room, you can go to your Canvas class and it will be listed there. On page 2, You'll see that there are 3 options for learning in this course. I get it, not all of you want to be a finance professional, but you can do well in this course, meaning that you can pass it and not really learn very much. Unfortunately, I just think that's a big waste of time. I want you to think about what you really want to get out of this course. I teach some online classes for adults, and one of my classes is a finance class for non-finance professionals. So basically, most of these people have been promoted to a position where all of a sudden they have to deal with the finances. All of you are going to be in that situation. You're going to have to deal with the finances. So think about what it is that you would like to learn. What do you want to take with you? So there's 3 options here. There's wading, there's snorkeling, and there's scuba diving. I understand that not all of you want the same outcomes from this course, so I'd like you to think about what you do want out of it and set a strategy to get that. On page 2, you'll also see that there is a volunteer requirement for this course. Every person in this course is required to volunteer for 3 hours during the semester, and you need to report those hours in Canvas. The good news, you can count that 3-hour activity for multiple courses if you want to. You also can do 3 separate activities for an hour each. We just ask that you take your picture and be prepared to post that into Canvas. And finally, page 4 lists the proposed schedule for business finance. The dates that are on here are currently reflected in Canvas, but they are subject to change. The final authority on what's due and when is Canvas. If you ever have any questions, just ask me. If you have already done so, great, but you do need to take a quiz on the syllabus and turn it in during the next class. If you don't have a copy of that quiz, just let me know. You will be spending 2 to 3 hours outside of class for every 1 hour that you spend in class. Half of the 2 to 3 hours will be spent preparing for the next class, and half of it will be practicing what you learned in the previous class. So a half before a class and a half after that class. In my lab, you'll have quizzes that need to be completed before every single class, and you'll have assignments to be completed after every single class. You'll also have Excel templates for many of the assignments that are very, very useful. Most classes have links to videos that I'd like you to watch. These will be very, very helpful for you in understanding some of the concepts that we just don't have time to cover in class. First of all, my sincere apologies to Seahawk fans, but I do want you to watch this short video. So why did I want you to watch that? On page 2 of the syllabus, there's a saying, quote, "When a team loses a game, they should get a second chance to score and win," unquote. The person who said this is no one ever. When a game is over, the game is over. And it's the same with education. I would just like to encourage all of you to make sure to keep up with your schoolwork in this class. Talk to me if you're having trouble. I get it, things happen. We need to work together, and I want to have really open communication. So let's make sure that everyone finishes strong and wins well. I want to give you a little look into what we're going to be doing during this semester. There's 3 primary tasks of the finance professional. That's capital budgeting, capital structuring, and working capital management. We're going to be taking each one of these, and we're going to be learning some of the skills needed. We're going to put tools in our toolbox to learn how to do each one of these things. And then by the end of the semester, we're going to be putting them all together in a team project where we'll practice these things. Finally, I want to give you an idea of how the course is going to be laid out and organized. You can kind of think of it as having three major sections. First of all, we're going to be working on understanding financial statements, being able to read financial statements and analyzing the information. That will be pretty short. We're going to be spending most of our time understanding and learning new business finance tools. So that will be the second phase of what we're doing. Then finally, we will have enough tools in our toolbox that we will be able to practice the three roles of the finance manager. And we'll be doing that starting with chapter 11 and ending with a final project that you will be doing in teams.